Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your kind attention, please? I request everyone in the hall to kindly be seated with their mobile telephones, electronic gadgets, either switched off or put onto silent mode from now onwards, please. We request our distinguished dignitaries to kindly light our beautiful traditional lamp and formally inaugurate the 34th International Congress of NRIs being held by the NRI Welfare Society of India. I request our distinguished chief guest, His Excellency Mr. Alain Saint-Ange, Minister for Tourism and Culture, Government of Seychelles, to kindly lead the lighting of the lamp ceremony. I request His Excellency Mr. Amolak Kohli, Honorable former Governor of Mizoram, to kindly light our beautiful traditional lamp. I request Dr. Bhishmanarayan Singh, Honorable former Governor and President of the Society, to light our beautiful traditional lamp. I request Mrs. Shireen Naiken, CEO of Seychelles Tourism Board, to light our traditional lamp. I request Dr. GVG Krishnamurthy, former Election Commissioner of India, to light our lamp, please. And I request Sri Gurinder Singh, Secretary General of the NRI Welfare Society of India, to kindly light our beautiful lamp, please. For the benefit of our foreign delegates, in India we light the lamp, the diya, which when lit emits light, derives energy. It is this very energy which is the life force which sustains us. Each wick being lit is passed from one to another, symbolizing the sharing of knowledge. Each wick being lit today is a prayer for global peace and solidarity. Thank you very much, Your Excellencies. Thank you very much, distinguished dignitaries. May I request all of you to kindly take your places on the stage, please. May we have the main exit doors closed, please. The 34th International Congress of NRIs has been called to order. I request the main exit doors to be closed, please. Kindly rise for the national anthem, please.
Janagana mana adhinayak jaya he Bharat bhagya vidhata Punjab Sindh Gujarat Maratha Dravida Utkala Vanga Vindhya Himachala Yamuna Ganga चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Our distinguished chief guest, Honorable Mr. Alain Saint-Ange, Excellencies on the stage, our distinguished dignitaries, our respected international and national delegates, respected members of the press and media, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the NRI Welfare Society of India, it is my privilege in welcoming you to the 34th International Congress of NRIs. I now have the privilege in saying a few words about the NRI Welfare Society of India, which was formed in 1985 with the noble objective of strengthening the emotional bonds between India and NRIs. India is proud of Indians living abroad, those who are keeping the flag of the country high in whichever sphere they are. If India will be strong economically and socially, Indians living abroad will be honored and respected. The non-resident Indians sprawling throughout the world strongly desire to see their motherland prosper, and the common man should have better resources for bringing up his family. With this aim, thousands and thousands of NRIs have shown their readiness to make investment in India. They have ample financial resources which they wish to devote to the overall development and the progress of India. Despite their repeated pleadings, the NRIs have not been successful in their attempt. The reason is obvious: bureaucratic bottlenecks and the vexing and complicated rules and regulations governing investments by non-resident Indians. The NRI gesture surprisingly has not been appreciated in responsible official circles, and all kinds of hurdles are being placed in their way. The Society's main objective, ladies and gentlemen, is to facilitate the entry of NRI money to be pumped into Indian industry, agriculture and core areas. With a strong economy, we can face the foreign competition much better and with greater assurance. We would therefore urge the authorities to welcome any suggestions for investment by non-resident Indians who will not only be too happy to come to the assistance of their motherland. They say they take special pride and delight in serving India in their own inimitable fashion. The non-resident Indians have become successful, whether it is in business or professional achievement. There are examples galore of many of them who could not find openings in India to their satisfaction. The Indian systems foster bureaucracy, then brilliance, and the business environments facilitate anything but enterprises usually are the common refrains. Having said that, the time has come to recognize the NRI community as potentially India's valuable resource base. Overseas Chinese have made a considerable contribution to their motherland's coffers. However, to influence NRIs to make investment in India on the basis of shared sentiments that they love India would be short-sighted, if not self-defeating. A lasting relationship can only be built on a mutually beneficial system. NRIs are potential investors in India, and a few years back, when India was facing an economic crisis, India could recover only because of the help and assistance of NRIs, and to face the American sanctions against India, they looked towards NRIs for generous support. NRIs living in various parts of the world, over 25 million, were very much perturbed and disturbed about ongoing political situation in the country. At this juncture, it was the primary duty of the Society to build confidence amongst the non-resident Indians that the country is stable or united to run the government. Thrust for foreign goods has almost vanished. We are making manufacturing goods in collaboration with foreign countries with foreign brand names. We have all the foreign named commodities available in Indian markets today. The NRI Welfare Society of India, ladies and gentlemen, is a pioneer organization of non-resident Indians which is fighting for the just causes of NRIs and knocking the doors of government off and on for redressal of their grievances. Ladies and gentlemen, the Secretary General, of course, is Mr. Gurinder Singh, but his father, the late Harbhajan Singh, we have an irreparable loss here, and we always remember him on days such as this. The mind does not believe and trust that Sri Harbhajan Singh, the high-spirited, full of enthusiasm and energetic, always attired in white dress, briskly moving from one point to another, is no more. Amongst the NRI's fraternity, his readers, admirers and well-wishers. His untimely demise abound all who knew him. He was a star with enlightened hundreds with his wisdom, which is found missing today. A multifaceted personality, he was a social worker, educationist, literary figure, and a journalist. In a nutshell, he was a dynamic person with his multiple dimensional traits and activities. He was a genius person par excellence. Patriotism and honesty was in his veins. He was far above narrow thinking, never knew hatred, jealousy, and enmity. In fact, he doled his goodwill wherever who came in his fold. Sri Harbhajan Singh realized the problems of non-resident Indians and established NRI Welfare Society of India, which has strongly grown into an effective body in 25 years plus. The annual conference of NRIs is held every year from the 25th to the 28th of January. His constant persuasion has been fruitful, and the central government has granted overseas citizenship of India card to NRIs, who has also made sufficient legislation and laws protecting the rights and interests of non-resident Indians. To give wider acclaim, the Society held conferences in United Kingdom, United States of America, Dubai and Bangkok. During these conferences, one could sense the joy and happiness of delegates, attracting them to invest liberally and retain a social and emotional ties with India, the land of their origin. A tremendous task he carried on his shoulders. His speeches during any conference always allured the delegates to embrace their motherland. The amount of work he did for betterment of NRIs will go deep in the annals of the history of India. Well, that was the former Secretary General, who really is the founder of the NRI Welfare Society of India, and I have great privilege, ladies and gentlemen, in requesting Shri Gurinder Singh, President of the All India Small and Medium Newspaper Federation and Member Press Council of India. He was a member Press Accreditation Committee and Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. He was member of the Impanel Committee of DAVP, member of the Legislative Studies, and after his father, the late Harbhajan Singh, passed away in 2006, he indeed is holding the helm of affairs at the NRI Welfare Society of India. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a warm round of applause as I request Mr. Gurinder Singh to kindly address our distinguished audience, please.
Honorable Minister, His Excellency Alan St. Ange, Honorable Dr. Bhisham Narayan Singh Ji, Honorable Amola Kohli Ji, Honorable Dr. GVG Krishnamurthy Ji, Ms. Sherian Mackin, CEO of the Seychelles Traveling Board, ladies and gentlemen, I extend a warm welcome to you all who have come from various parts of the world to be a part of this Congress in the land of your ancestors. I feel deeply honored to address such a distinguished and accomplished audience. I feel truly proud that in this hall we find today the entire world represented. This gathering of ladies and gentlemen truly symbolizes the ancient Indian learning for Vasudevaya Kutumbakam. The whole world is one family. We are one family, the whole world is our home. That is why I have always said that while the sun has set on all the great empires of the world, the sun will never set on the Indian diaspora. We are over 1 billion Indians and over 2 million overseas Indians living in 110 different countries. This International Congress is a celebration of the global Indian. It is also the celebration of homecoming of the global Indian. Over the ages, the relationship between NRIs and Bharat has taken many forms. One of its most glorious manifestations has been their contribution to India's independence movement. Nearly 100 years ago, almost to this day, Mahatma Gandhi returned to lead a nation's march to freedom. Post-independence overseas Indians have served as a bridge of friendship and cooperation between India and their adopted homes abroad. Regardless of whether they are successful professionals, traders and entrepreneurs, or second-generation Indians comfortably reconciling their two identities, or toiling hard to build a future for their families, they are at all times a most effective window for the world to India's heritage and its progress. To set the record straight, NRI Welfare Society, being a pioneer one, has been fighting for your just causes for the last nearly couple of 3 decades, when none in the country thought of or cared for the non-resident Indians. Thanks to the visionary Sardar Harbhajan Singh Ji, my illustrious father, who started the society long back, that has come to stay as a leader. The NRI Welfare Society has organized several successful symposia and congresses on specific issues, from time to time at the national and international level. The best part being our joint efforts bearing fruit, with the result the Government of India creating an altogether new ministry, that of Ministry of Overseas Indians. With the millions of people of Indian origin living outside India, a new global community has emerged. Most people of Indian origin have been exceedingly successful in a range of businesses and professions. For the global NRIs, the future is very bright. He is the future architect of the globalization village called the Earth. We in India speak in different languages and follow different faiths, but Indian culture has a tradition of assimilating and accommodating diverse traditions, customs, beliefs, and people. That is what makes Indian society, Indian civilization endure and flourish. If their professional expertise and finite resources could be pooled, the historic project of globalization will become complete in the truest sense, with more and more of our brothers joining the mainstream as important investing partners to our globalization process. Ours is not just a 5-day annual event, but an opportunity of lifetime to invest in a vibrant country, your own motherland, which has stood the test of time, all the more so at a time when one sees a worldwide meltdown. With the efforts of all of us, India has emerged in the front line of the world economy. It is not only the efforts of the industrious people residing in this country, but also the support and dedication of all of you, India's sons and daughters, that has enabled us to grow faster. The global NRIs have brought about a revolution. Indians have done wonder overseas in almost all professions. This globalization would have not been possible without the global Indians reaching out to people of different culture, region, and languages across the world. The world is seeing India with immense hope and optimism. The rich and the poor nations are looking at India. The whole world admires the Indian community, not due to the money, but the values they are living with. India is today one of the top investment destinations. Economic opportunities are expanding everywhere. Our ancestors went to distant lands to explore new possibilities. Now, opportunities awaits you in India. Times have changed. The world is looking at India with optimism. The overall trend is very positive. Despite the crisis in major developed economies, remittance flow to India is increasing, the highest for any country from its diaspora in 2014. With the coming of new government, our Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi, is taking many initiatives to connect the diaspora to the motherland, reaching out to non-resident Indians with welcome announcements on the visa regime while exhorting them to join to the mission of realizing his dream of India. In his recent speech in America, he said, 65% Indians are below the age of 35. A country that has this treasure, whose fingers have the power to connect with the entire world through the computer, whose youngsters are eager to make their mark, such a nation doesn't need to look back. The world is convinced this is Asia's century. American leaders have publicly reaffirmed this. Some say it's Asia's century, others assert it is India's century. It is not an empty claim. India has the potential. Reminding the NRIs about the connect with India, Modi said, no matter how long they have lived abroad, most Indians know they now need to keep one leg in India. India has 3 things no other nation has. Democracy, our biggest strength and treasure. Demographic dividend, a nation that has 65% of its population below 35 years old can't ask for a more precious treasure. Demand, the entire world is looking to India because a nation of 125 crore is a big market with a huge demand. There is no nation in the world with all 3. India will conquer new heights on the back of this wealth. Modi was also of the opinion that the government doesn't bring progress. It can, at best, implement schemes. It has a limited budget. Progress is only possible with the partnerships of people. Till now, India's government took the responsibility of progress. on their own shoulders. We aim to make it a people's movement. Make in India. He has invited the world, invited you all to make in India. If you want human resources, effective governance, low-cost production, you won't find a better alternative than India. To facilitate the mergers, he has announced the easing of travel and visa norms, including life-term visas for PIO, besides announcing the merger of PIO and OCI schemes. It is the development which has become a mass movement in the country. India's young workforce should be exported to the world, especially the talented teachers and nurses. I won't be wrong if I say, अच्छे दिन आने वाले हैं. Let me assure you that as India continues to grow, as our external engagements increases, as we assume higher international responsibilities, every time an Indian succeeds abroad, it goes on to show that Indians exported are the most sought after commodity in the world talent. We are extremely proud of our diaspora. They have made India global, and their strong values have endeared them wherever they have gone. A successful, prosperous, and politically influential diaspora is an asset to India, much as a strong and self-reliant India would be a source of strength and inspiration for the diaspora. This synergy acts as a vibrant bridge between us and sustains our relationship. I wish to assure you there is no reason to despair about our present or worry about our future. We are heading into better times, and I would urge you to remain engaged in the future of this country with confidence and optimism. India is changing in a way that is significant, but not always evident to those who do not see the big picture. Over the past 10 years, our communication networks have expanded exponentially, and much of rural India will be connected by broadband at the very next future. About 1,000 institutions of higher education are today part of the high-speed national network technology. Telephony is now within the reach of everyone. The education sector has been radically reformed, with central universities having gone from 17 to 44, and IITs and IIMs doubling in number. At the primary level, nearly every child in India is going to school today. We have added over 17,000 kilometers of highways and more than 200,000 kilometers of new roads in rural areas. Our power generation capacity is expanding rapidly, aided by initiatives in solar, wind, and nuclear energy to give ourselves a more sustainable energy future. India's economic growth has not only accelerated, it has also become socially more inclusive and regionally more balanced. Our poverty levels are declining. Economically weaker states are growing at a faster rate. Agricultural growth has accelerated. With the efforts of all of us, India has emerged in the front line of the world economy. It's not only the efforts of the industrious people residing in this country, but also the support and dedication of all of you, India's sons and daughters, that has enabled us to grow faster. India is poised today to play a key role in the world. It promotes spirit of coexistence and accommodation. India is also one of the engines of growth for the world economy. While India's huge investable resources and large market give us confidence, strength, and stability, we see international economic and technological partnerships as an integral part of our growth strategy. We are aware that despite impressive economic performance and changes on an enormous scale in the past 2 decades, India faces persisting challenges of poverty, equity, sustainability, and opportunity. Vulnerable sections of society, including our women, face enduring prejudices and continuing problems in rapidly changing India. However, across India, there are also countless inspirational stories of innovation, enterprise, and leadership by citizens and communities that are transforming lives and generating hope for millions of our citizens. There is now a surge of expectation from an increasingly empowered and articulate public for more responsive, transparent, participative, clean, and effective government. Government is also determined to turn any setbacks into an opportunity to improve legal and regulatory frameworks. I have no doubt that the energy and the passions of our citizens, particularly our youth, will be a force of positive change in our country. The overseas Indian community should be a vital partner and a participant in India's social and economic development. Whether you wish to invest or share your knowledge, technology and skills, whether your enterprise takes you to the cities or your compassion brings you to remote villages, we assure you of continuing effort to support your endeavors. In conclusion, let me assure you that as India continues to grow, as our external engagements increases, as we assume higher international responsibilities, NRIs will continue to remain close to our hearts as our partners in our national efforts and as vital links to the outside world. This event provides us an opportunity to reaffirm our commitment to make India stronger each day in every sphere. I wish all of you every success in your life. India looks upon you with affection, pride, satisfaction, and hope. Thank you. Mera Bharat Mahan.
Thank you very much indeed. The very dynamic Mr. Gurinder Singh, the Secretary General of the NRI Welfare Society of India, giving us a most wonderful speech, and I think that really sets a tone for the 34th International Congress of NRIs, which we shall be going through today. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm extremely privileged and honored to present to you His Excellency Mr. Amolak Kohli, the former Governor of Mizoram. I don't think he needs any words of introduction. Everybody knows him, and it is my privilege in request him to kindly address the distinguished audience, please.
The Honorable Minister from Seychelles, His Excellency Bhishma Ji, members of the dais, and are all distinguished members of today's gathering. Gurinder has given a good idea about India's journey for the future. But let me tell you a little about what happened in the past in a few minutes. We were a very poor country in 1947 when we got freedom. Our GDP growth from 1901 to 1947 was 1%, and our population growth was also 1% only. The net effect was zero. With very large families at that time, why it happened so? Because there were epidemics, there were hungers, famines, and they would take away a lot of toll on the population. Infant mortality rate in India was 400 plus per thousand. Our average life expectancy was only 29 years. Our founder fathers, after the freedom, wanted 5 priorities only. A, elimination of hunger. B, elimination of ignorance, which means education. C, elimination of bad health. And after that, they gave us a constitution also, which said equality and justice for all. Now, so long these 3 things are there, hunger, bad health, and ignorance, you can't do justice in any society. And after that, they also talked about dignity of every citizen of India. Ladies and gentlemen, we have covered a lot of journey by that time, today we are, but we have not achieved complete as yet. There are starvation deaths which puts us in shame, but they are only bad management. There is enough food grains in the country. People should not die of starvation. Health standards, yes, infant mortality rate has come down to 46. but it needs to be improved more. The malnutrition is a challenge which we have to accept as on today. And full literacy probably we'll achieve in 3 to 4 years' time. I can assure you that. These are the new challenges of the new government which has taken over in the center. Then we can talk about dignity and honor. While traveling this journey, our life expectancy has gone up to 67 years now. And we will also join in a few years' time when malnutrition goes down. Life expectancy will come to close 75 plus in the next 2-3 decades. I'd like to warn you today. All the developed nations of the world have aging populations. No fault of theirs because they gave a longevity to their citizens. Today Americans have a aging population, both North including Canada. West Europeans have aging population. Japan, China, Korea, Australia, New Zealand have aging populations. Who will service these people? This is a question mark I am posing. You can certainly give offshore facilities which can be go by internet and all that. But what about physical services? Like good doctors, nurses, paramedical staff, plumbers, electricians, others people to maintain the systems. I am trying to tell you this very clearly. What demographic part he said that 65% of India is still young. This is the future service India can render to the whole globe. And please see it as an opportunity for us. But how do we do it? Our government has taken a massive plan, skill development plan. We need all those skills which are required in these countries to service them. If we can give the quality and quantity for that also, it will automatically improve the standards in India also. Because we need them in India also. We're also going to be aging society in 25, 30 years down the line. This is one opportunity for you. Second, 45 crores people, which is almost about 40% of the population, 35 to 40% is comfortable. It's a middle class which is the driving engine of our economy. If I say 450 million people, after China, it is the second highest population of people who can look after themselves anywhere in the globe. But there are 800 million people who are still shackled. Some of them are starvation deaths. They are not performing to their potential. They are partly employed. They are not fully employed. Their earning capacity is much lesser. They are the ones who are ignorant. They are the ones who have a bad health. And they also suffer from hunger. We had in 1991, our lowest point of economic part came when we had to mortgage our gold to International Monetary Fund to get special drawing rights. After that, our success story started. We unshackled India. And who brought this story? Your non-resident Indians who wanted to come back to India, who had knowledge and expertise, who had money also to spare, they came and invested. Because India got unshackled. New entrepreneurship class came to India. At the same time, everybody new came, and it's a story which gave you pride and honor after 2000. The world started recognizing you because India became a success story. But after 2009, we again went down because of domestic compulsions, whatever you may say. It has happened. Now, fortunately, since 2014 onwards, another success story is going to be written for this country. A time has come, we have to unshackle those 800 million people. What's the profile of that India? Small and marginal farmer. They are entrepreneurs, self-employed, but shackled. And farm laborers who are employees. All trading class of petty traders in that entire area, they are also shackled. They all work for a very small margin of profit to distribute goods and services at a very low price. And then all artisans in our villages whose skills are not very high, but they are also doing a service for a very small price. But they are all entrepreneurs but shackled. Prime Minister Modi and his team have decided to unshackle them. We cannot change the land holdings of small and marginal farmers, but we can certainly bring technology to improve their productivity to 2.5 to 3 times and give them better incomes. This is the program which is being taken. The next area, this is another opportunity. This needs to be done in agriculture, this needs to be done in trading, this needs to be done in all the service classes, for which I said earlier also, we have to train our manpower to render the services to the society and also abroad. That's the export of manpower. The next part which I am going to touch is far more important. In the last 25 years, the world has seen a lot of bubbles bursting. Dot-com bubble burst. Banks talked about potential and they started earning a lot of money by giving packages which only promised income but actually didn't happen. They talked about the top line turnover but not bottom line the profit. They did not interlink it, and many banks in the West were also went bust. And the third busting has been of real estate. All over the globe and in India also this is the same story. What happened? Today if you drive around Delhi, go to any side while going to Punjab, you go beyond Karnal, you go right up to Jaipur side, you'll be seeing, some of you are visiting also that side. You go on Rohtak side, you go on towards Agra side, you have multi-story buildings lying vacant. They are the houses which belong to people who are not going to live in them. It is their second, third or fourth house, only from investment, where they want thought in real estate is jumping, so they invested money. They are lying unoccupied. And there is a lot of unaccounted money of some of the politicians, I am sorry to say that, some of the bureaucrats, and the business community also has gone, which is unaccounted money, which we talk black money in India. They are the houses which are not going to be occupied, those who own them. But those who need houses in India, they cannot afford to go and live in them. This is what we have done. All the housing has been done for high class and HIG, high income group, and super rich. And they are not going to occupy till people become prosperous, which is required to take care of that inventory. But we did not take care of economically weaker section, nobody built. Low income group section, nobody built. Middle income section, in the villages people built on their own, and organized, if demand was 20%, it was less than 5%. So mismatch, total speculation, and that bubble has also burst. It has burst all over the world. But there is an opportunity in this. We have to go into that rural India where centers for excellence have to be created, including education, skill development, and development there, which is also housing also. This is an area where you have a lot of potential to come. And last, I would say very clearly, you have distinguished abroad. You have earned your stature by your sweat and toil and your ability to achieve something. Ladies and gentlemen, your reputation as NRIs will always be so long your roots are stronger in this country. If your roots enjoy a reputation throughout the globe, your reputation will automatically go up. You enjoyed it after 2000, up to 2009 or 10. But after that, there was some regression. A time has come where we have to work and work together. And to do that, it's a God's race. Today, India is the most eligible bride amongst all the prosperous bridegrooms of the world. Everybody is looking at us. But this bride has the responsibility to say beautiful and have the excellent qualities of character as well as culture. And you as the progressive people take pride in this situation, come, and we have to make this bride as the most accepted daughter-in-law in the whole world. Thank you very much.
Thank Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for a most wonderful speech. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very distinguished gentleman sitting on our top table, none other than Dr. G.V.G. Krishnamurthy, the former Election Commissioner of India. I request the Honorable Dr. G.V.G. Krishnamurthy to kindly address the distinguished audience, please.
क्या बाबूजी हिंदी? हाँ, हिंदी ओके? हाँ, परम आदरणीय 7 राज्यों का राज्यपाल, भारत में प्रमुख व्यक्ति, सेवा में, योगदान में, हमारा बड़ा भाई डॉक्टर भीष्म नारायण सिंह जी, इस NRI वेलफेयर सोसाइटी का अध्यक्ष है, और मिस्टर एलन सेंट अंगे, मिनिस्टर ऑफ टूरिज्म एंड कल्चर, सेशल्स, चीफ गेस्ट ऑफ द डे, आदरणीय अमलोक कोहली जी, पूर्व राज्यपाल, बहुत आदरणीय व्यक्ति है, और मिसेस शरीन नाइकन, CEO सेशल्स टूरिज्म बोर्ड, और यहाँ पर बैठे हुए सरदार दलबीर सिंह जी, ऑल इंडिया कांग्रेस कमेटी का सचिव है, आज यहाँ उपस्थित हुए बहुत सम्माननीय NRIs, फ्रेंड्स और अतिथियों, देवियों और सज्जनों, एक तो मैं कहना चाहता हूँ, इस साल में आज 25 दिन खत्म हो गए। सर्वप्रथम मैं आप सबको नई साल का मुबारक देना चाहता हूँ। आपका जीवन मंगलमय हो, अच्छे हो। हैप्पी न्यू ईयर टू ऑल ऑफ यू। दूसरा, कल तो गणतंत्र दिवस है, भारतीय गणतंत्र दिवस है, गर्व से हम मनाते हैं। उस संदर्भ में भी मैं बधाई नहीं देना चाहता हूँ। तीसरा, ये NRI वेलफेयर सोसाइटी का परंपरा है, हर एक रिपब्लिक डे अवसर पर एक कॉन्फ्रेंस लगा के देश देशों में आप अपना काम से, श्रद्धा से, योगदान से नाम कमाया, उन सबको आज आदर करते हैं, अवार्ड्स देते हैं। इसके लिए भी जो जो अवार्ड स्वीकार कर रहे हैं, उन सबको मैं दिल से बधाई देता हूँ। उसके बाद ये बात है, तो टाइम का अब टाइम का ज़्यादा लंबा भाषण नहीं देना चाहता हूँ। मैं ये कहना चाहता हूँ, एक आदमी था, उनका नाम है, मार्क ट्वेन, अमेरिका में महत्वपूर्ण व्यक्ति है। वो कहा था भारत के बारे में। खास बात यह है, दूसरा आदमी था विल ड्यूरेंट। इनका कोटेशन बहुत अच्छा कोटेशन है, मैं इससे शुरुआत करना चाहता हूँ। विल ड्यूरेंट 1885 में पैदा हो गया, उसके बाद 1981 में स्वर्गवास हो गया। ये महत्वपूर्ण व्यक्ति है। वो कहा था, ये गर्व की बात है, इंडिया, आई कोट, इंडिया इज द मदरलैंड ऑफ आवर रेस, मानव जाति का माँ है भारत। ये 1900 में भारत आया है लगभग, वापस जाके लिखा है ये, भारत सारा मानव जाति का माँ है। मदर एंड संस्कृत, संस्कृत का माँ है। मदर ऑफ आवर लैंग्वेजेस, सर्व भाषाओं का माँ है। इंडिया इज द मदर ऑफ आवर फिलॉसफी, सारा वेदांत का माँ है। ऑफ मच ऑफ आवर मैथमेटिक्स, मच ऑफ आवर मैथमेटिक्स, आइडियाज एम्बॉडीड इन क्रिश्चियनिटी, क्रिश्चियनिटी में जो आइडियाज हैं उसका सबका माँ है भारत। ऑफ सेल्फ गवर्नमेंट एंड डेमोक्रेसी, लोकतंत्र का माँ है। मैं तो भारत का निर्वाचन आयुक्त रहा हूँ, इसके वास्ते गर्व की बात है, लोकतंत्र का माँ है। इन मेनी वेज द मदर ऑफ ऑल ऑफ अस। ये भारत के बारे में मार्क ट्वेन इतना अच्छा तारीफ किया 1900 में, जब भारत आज़ाद नहीं थे। भारत एक गुलाम का देश है उस वक्त का। अब ये बात है, इट इज़ ए मैटर, जब तो ये गर्व की बात है, आप लोग भारत छोड़ के गए, विदेशों में जाके अपना प्रतिभा से, योगदान से, काम से नाम कमा के भारत का नाम रोशनी कर दिया। इसके लिए बहुत बहुत गर्व है हमें। और NRIs are an asset to the country. They fly the flag of the nation. भारत का झंडा लगा के दूसरे देशों में, हम भी काफ़ी देश में थे, बाबूजी भी थे, काफ़ी देश देखे हैं। हम गर्व से ये कहते हैं, इन द पास्ट सेंचुरी एंड दिस सेंचुरी, Indians are a proud community in every country. And the NRIs come here to India, their mind is here, their heart is here, उनका संस्कृति यहाँ पर है। ये तो बहुत ओवरसीज इंडियंस डायस्पोरा है, बहुत गर्व की बात है। आज ये कॉन्फ्रेंस हो रहा है NRI वेलफेयर सोसाइटी का। NRI वेलफेयर सोसाइटी ये शुरुआत किया है सरदार हरभजन सिंह, हमारा छोटा भाई तरह है। अभी ये चला रहा है, हमारा नेव्यूज है गुरिंदर सिंह, दीपक सिंह, दोनों ये संस्था चला रहे हैं। विजय सूद भी संस्था को बहुत मदद दे रहे हैं। ये संस्था NRIs का संक्षेम को, उनके लिए क्या क्या दिक्कतें हैं उसके इंटरेक्ट करते हैं। इंटरेक्ट करके NRIs का इंटरेस्ट इन इंडिया उनको जगाते हैं। अच्छा, मेरी मातृभाषा तेलुगु है, हाँ? फिर भी गर्व से हम हिंदी में आज विचार व्यक्त कर रहे हैं। पता नहीं, मेरा हमेशा बोलता हूँ, मेरा पता हिंदी कैसे है। सो द पॉइंट इज, NRIs एंड PIOs, पर्सन्स ऑफ इंडियन ऑरिजिन, भारत का मूल लोग विदेशों में, भारत जब तक भारत रहेगा तब तक गर्व करने का काम किया है। क्या काम किया? कई देशों में भारत के मूलवासियों ने राष्ट्रपति बन गए। आसान बात नहीं है। कई देशों में राष्ट्रपति बन गया, कई देशों में प्रधानमंत्री बन गया। इस देशवासियों, मूलवासियों ने, वो कौन है? मैं शॉर्ट में बोलता हूँ। प्रधानमंत्री भारतवासियों का बन गया है। कौन कौन है? राष्ट्रपति कौन कौन है? पहले प्रधानमंत्री को बताता हूँ। महेंद्र चौधरी, फिजी का महेंद्र चौधरी, हरियाणा से, मैं मिला था उनसे। फिजी का 1999 में प्रधानमंत्री बन गया। और चड्डी जगन गयाना 1953 में प्रधानमंत्री बन गया। शिवसागर राम गुलाम, मॉरिशस, बाबूजी जाते हैं, हम भी जाते रहते हैं, वो मॉरिशस का 1998 में प्रधानमंत्री बन गया। प्रधानमंत्री देश का प्रधान मार्गदर्शी है। वो आदमी मॉरिशस में इतना बड़प्पन होने से, महत्वपूर्ण होने से वो कारण है। नवीन चंद्र राम गुलाम 1995 में प्रधानमंत्री बन गया। ये मामूली बात नहीं है। ये अनिरुद्ध जगन्नाथ 1982 2006 में प्रधानमंत्री बन गया। आइए। सो मैं एक कहता हूँ, वासुदेव पांडे ट्रिनिडाड एंड टोबैगो में 1995 में प्रधानमंत्री बन गए, और कृष्ण प्रसाद भट्टराय नेपाल में 1990 में प्रधानमंत्री बन गए, और मनमोहन अधिकारी नेपाल में प्रधानमंत्री बन गए, महाथुर मोहम्मद मलेशिया में प्रधानमंत्री बन गए। इतना देशों का प्रधानमंत्री बनना मामूली बात नहीं है, और राष्ट्रपति बन गए, ये भी मैं कहना चाहता हूँ इस सभा में, क्योंकि कई लोगों को ये पता नहीं होगा। ये राष्ट्रपति बन गया देवन नायर सिंगापुर में, सिंगापुर महत्वपूर्ण देश है, 1981 में प्रधानमंत्री बन गए। चेट्टी जगन 1992 में गयाना में, एस आर नाथन सिंगापुर में प्रधानमंत्री बन गया, प्रेसिडेंट बन गया। वीरास्वामी रंगडू मॉरिशस में राष्ट्रपति बन गया। कासम मॉरिशस में 1993 में, मॉरिशस वाले भी बैठे हैं। नूर हुसैन ट्रिनिडाड टोबैगो में राष्ट्रपति बन गया। भारत जगदेव गयाना में राष्ट्रपति बन गया 1999 में। जूलियस विंगडो सूरीनाम में राष्ट्रपति बन गया। इतना भारत मूलवासियों ने राष्ट्रपति प्रधानमंत्री बनना स्वतंत्र भारत को गर्व की बात है। ये लोग यहाँ से गए, दूसरे देशों में रहे, काम किए, नाम कमाया। अब अमेरिका में है कई लोग, अमेरिका में गवर्नर्स है, कई लोग इन वेरियस फील्ड्स, इन द फील्ड ऑफ मेडिसिन, इंजीनियरिंग, साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी, कंप्यूटर्स, इतना नाम कमाया है। हम देशवासियों को बहुत गर्व लगता है। दूसरा, मैं भारत का निर्वाचन आयुक्त था, 3 पार्लियामेंट इलेक्शंस चलाए हमने, उसके बाद एक राष्ट्रपति इलेक्शन चलाया, उपराष्ट्रपति इलेक्शन चलाया, 25 चीफ मिनिस्टर्स का इलेक्शन चलने का सौभाग्य है मेरा। At our age, we feel very proud of our NRIs. And if you take people, they have become members of House of Lords. They have become members of House of Commons and House of Representatives in other countries. So the point I am making is, this NRI Welfare Society has done yeoman service for the last so many years. Harbhajan Singh ji has done, Gurinder, Deepak have done. So it is a matter of pleasure to invite all of you to India. And last announcement of the Prime Minister was visa on arrival. It's a great honor. You come to your mother country, no visa is required, visa is given in the airport itself. In fact, dual nationality we started in UN in 1980, 35 years back, when I had the fortune of being selected first non-MP in India who was given a parliament member status, when Babuji was the cabinet minister for parliament affairs. He proposed, Indira Gandhi ji accepted that. I was there at UN in 1980 along with Professor Ranga and other members of Parliament, Paul Mittal, other people, we interacted with 159 countries, heads of states. So NRIs gave us a reception in New Jersey. The question was, why not we have dual nationality as जब यूरोप में है, ऐसा सिचुएशन स्टार्ट करें। 1980 में we formulated that, and then it went on. We interacted with the External Affairs Ministry, External Affairs Minister, External Affairs Foreign Secretary, number of them. I was also legal advisor to External Affairs Ministry for a number of years. So at that time it went on, but finally it has yielded results. कामयाब हो गया है। सब NRIs को जब भारत आने का पहले एम्बेसी को जाने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, वीज़ा लेने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, वीज़ा एंड अराइवल मिल जाता है। इट्स ए ग्रेट थिंग फॉर द कंट्री दैट वी आर इन्वाइटिंग आवर ओन चिल्ड्रन हु वेंट टू अदर कंट्रीज। हमारा देश का बहुत रोशनी किया अपना काम से। पुनः आप सबको बधाई देता हूँ, आप लोग इतना अच्छा काम करके वापस आके गणतंत्र दिवस में यहाँ पार्टिसिपेट कर रहे हैं, हमें गर्व की बात है। बहुत धन्यवाद।
Thank you very much indeed. Dr. G.V.G. Krishnamurthy there, making a most wonderful address for all of us here attending the 34th International Congress of NRIs. Ladies and gentlemen, I am privileged and honored to say a few words about our distinguished chief guest, His Excellency Mr. Alain Saint-Ange, the Honorable Minister for Tourism and Culture, Government of Seychelles. Earlier, he was CEO of Seychelles Tourism Board, and presently he is the Honorable Minister of Tourism and Culture there. He has organized a carnival of carnivals, and he has landed as the savior of the country's tourism sector. He boosted the visitor arrival numbers of our diversified away from the traditional sea, sand, and sun offering. He is determined to carry on the growing Chinese market, and his vision for the coming years is his continued mission to keep Seychelles relevant as a tourism destination of choice. And I'm sure today he's going to talk about the promotion of Seychelles, which is a most beautiful country which I've had the privilege to visit myself, and I'm sure he's going to talk about Indo-Seychelles bonding as well during his speech. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a warm round of applause as I invite His Excellency Mr. Alain Saint-Ange, the Honourable Minister for Tourism and Culture, Government of Seychelles, to kindly address the distinguished audience with his inaugural address, please.
Maybe just before I start, we'd ask the technicians to put a DVD so that those that don't know about the Seychelles can see it, some pictures of it, just to enlighten you where we come from the smallest corner of the world, and today sitting in one of the largest countries of the world. So could we get the DVD playing, please? As they started, I think Governor, distinguished leaders of the NRI, but you, members of the NRI coming from the four corners of the world. I feel very humbled. Take the sound out, please. I feel very humbled by this NRI invitation for me to join you, distinguished members of the NRI group of Indian nationals from the four corners of the world. And they come even from the Seychelles. Not only are you a distinguished group of people, but a group that is indeed very successful in the country of residence where you've plunked yourselves. But you've done one thing, all of you. You've remembered that you have a motherland, and a motherland to which you are very attached. I come from one of the smallest countries, with the smallest population probably, of only 80,000 people. Only 80,000 Seychellois. And today I stand in front of you, one of the largest countries, and one of the biggest populations of the world. NRI leaders, country presidents of this NRI here, they all need to be congratulated. They need to be congratulated because what they do in bringing all of you together, they are ensuring that the Indian flag continues to fly. They are ensuring that you unite yourselves as Indian nationals, not only in your country of residence, but with your motherland and with your fellow Indian nationals. Last year, I was in India, and here in Delhi, when I proudly received the Mahatma Gandhi Award. I was so overwhelmed by it. I told the whole world about it. And today, if you Google this Mahatma Gandhi Award, you will see that my name will appear with it, and I've made no secret to the world that I was one of the recipients of this great man's award. But winning an award also opened doors for other invitations to address. And in February, I have been very touched and indeed proud that I'm one of those delivering a keynote address in Johannesburg, South Africa, for 3 great leaders of the world. And 3 leaders are being recognized in February from the Americas,